Everybody like, hey, are you ready to go? Ready to go? Everybody like, hey.
Alright, what is up y'all? Soul here and welcome back to my story mode. So if you're seeing this video, that means that I've already put up my video talking about why I think that Pokemon Battle Revolution needs a new game. And if you've seen the title of this video, I am going to be talking about all the spin-offs that you guys said that you wanted to see revived. And I was going to give an apology to anybody that wanted to see Pokemon Battle Revolution get revived and said something about it in the comments, but surprisingly, I didn't see any. But hey, nobody wants it. That's cool. Made a whole video about it, but that is totally fine. Oh man, I just can't win. Anyhow, aside from all that, I did put other in the title of this video referring to all the Pokemon spin-offs because Pokemon Snap is coming out this upcoming month. And while that is super neat and all, I'm not really a big fan of Pokemon Snap. I'm sure that you guys have heard me talk about this time and time again, but personally, I just don't think that Pokemon Snap is worth the full $60. Don't get me wrong, Pokemon Snap has a couple of things going for it with its online... Its graphics look super nice. Hell, if it were at least half the price, maybe I'd consider it. But right now, nah, you got me messed up. Y'all can hold on to that one. I'll just go ahead and put it like this. Of all the Pokemon spin-offs that you guys could have brought back or remade or whatever, Pokemon Snap was definitely on the bottom of my list. Also, I'm not dogging anybody that wants the game. If you want it, by all means, please enjoy it to the fullest extent, okay? I personally just have no attachment to it because I didn't grow up with it. And you know, your boy ain't quite made of money, so I gotta choose what I spend it on wisely. If y'all want though, maybe down the line I could do an outsider's perspective or something, just talking about what I've seen from other people's playthroughs of the game or something like that. I'm not opposed, but we'll have to see what happens. Anyhow, before we hop into things, the last thing that I need to say is actually an apology. I didn't exactly organize this quite as well as I thought I did. In that poll, I asked you guys to give me spin-offs that you wanted to see revived. What I should have said more specifically was give me one spin-off that you want to see revived and why. Which is totally fine. I'm super glad everybody was able to give their opinions on as many spin-offs as they wanted because I know that there's definitely more than one spin-off that everybody wants to see more of. So in turn, while I was originally gonna try and organize it by game, I ultimately came to the conclusion that we're just gonna have to do this in the regular style, and it might get a little bit repetitive because I'm gonna be talking about a couple of the same games, but at the end of the day, I don't think that really matters all too much. The games are beloved by more than one person, and more than one person is gonna want to talk about it, so let's just talk about all of it. But on that note, I think we're gonna go ahead and start hopping right into it. I have my opinions on these games, but I wanted to see what you guys thought first. So, let's see what Pokemon spin-offs you guys wanted to see revived. Starting off here, we got Compatriot, who says, the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Ranger game series were criminally underrated and deserve to have some more sequels. To be completely honest with you, I don't really think that Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is underrated. Pretty much since its release back on the Game Boy, that series has had a game on every console besides the Wii and the Wii U. I'm certain that a lot of us forgot, myself included, but we actually had a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon release right before lockdown. I think everybody collectively kind of forgot about it because it came out in the same month as The Lockdown and Animal Crossing. Also, to top it off, it was just a remake of the original, so it didn't go as crazy as everybody probably expected it to. However, it was a very fine remake. And I also agree that we should be getting more sequels for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but that series I'm not necessarily worried about. Pokemon Rangers, on the other hand, is a completely different story. I'm pretty sure we haven't heard hi nor hair of that series since Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs on the DS. And that came out literally March 6th of 2010, meaning we have not had a Pokemon Ranger game in literally over a decade now. And if it's been that damn long, I don't expect to see anything for it anytime soon, unfortunately. But I will say that both of these series definitely deserve more sequels, even though Pokemon Mystery Dungeon is very likely to get more, and Pokemon Ranger is probably dead. Next up, Crimson Knight says, Pokemon Conquest is so underrated. It was really good and deserves another game. And right next to that, Keyzone says, I would love to see Pokemon Conquest get another installment or reboot. It's my favorite Pokemon spin-off game ever. See, I might have to stream this soon or something because I have actually never played Pokemon Conquest. I would hear people say that this was the Pokemon version of Fire Emblem, but I had no clue what Fire Emblem was at the time. Now that I've been introduced to tactical RPGs through Fire Emblem, I can confidently say that I would probably really love Pokemon Conquest. You know, just saying though, if they would have ported it already, I would have had it in my hands already, but you know, Nintendo's kinda lacking on that, so I don't expect that to ever happen. But hey, if you guys are down, I'm down to do like a stream playthrough of Pokemon Conquest for the first time, because I like tactical RPGs, and I like Pokemon. I also really like Fire Emblem. That's the perfect me mix, bro. Let me know, guys. Moving along, Peiko Kashine says, Ranger and Gale of Darkness. Those games were literally amazing. I 100% agree with you. I loved all three of the Pokemon Ranger games. I played the crap out of them. And don't even get me started on Gale of Darkness, bro. That game literally had everything that I needed as a kid. Pokemon on the big screen? Oh my goodness. That was it, bro. It also had a very fun story and amazing music. Just saying, Game Freak, that's a game you could take notes on. Just saying. Homie Roxana says, Pokemon Conquest, Explorers of Sky, and Rangers. Those would be phenomenal. I'll be honest, at this point I don't really expect much for Pokemon Conquest or Rangers, but Pokemon Explorers of Sky is something that they could definitely be working towards as we speak. Considering that we just got remakes for Red and Blue Rescue Team, I would not be shocked one bit if you sat there and told me that there is a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky remake in development as we speak. Explorers of Sky was hands down the most popular game in that series, so honestly, I think that the most logical step would be to make a remake for that game. That would sell like hotcakes, bro. That story and music turned into something modern for the Switch? Woo, mama, you got me messed up. Alright, Awesomemazingness says, the Pokepark and Pokemon Ranger series for me, such incredible games that came out in the Gen 4 era that deserve so much more attention. First, let me just say that I'm glad that I'm not one of 5 people that want these games to come back. Pokemon Ranger was absolutely underrated, and yet it got 3 games in its lifetime, so you know what? I think it did a very good job of staying alive as long as it could during the DS era. And don't even get me started on Pokepark. Those games hit differently back in the day. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Pokepark 2 was one of the last few spin-offs that made it past Gen 4 before we started getting into more mobile stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I know that we got other spin-offs like Pokken and stuff like that, but I'm saying that as part of a series, it was one of the last sequels to make it past Gen 4. But again, I could be wrong, don't hesitate to correct me if I did so. Jet Set Spy says, I know Ranger would be a difficult game to translate into a non-DS game, but I'd really love to see new content for it. Truthfully, I've thought about this quite a couple of times. I have literally no idea how they'd make a Pokemon Ranger game work on the Switch without us having to tire out our arms. Now, I can't remember the last big Nintendo game that forced us to use Joy-Cons to actually play the game, but Pokemon Ranger is probably one of the only games that I would say that it would not make sense to use anything other than the Joy-Cons to capture Pokemon. Unless they made it so that we have to like spin our joysticks or something like that, but I feel like that wouldn't work out too well. One thing I will say though is that they definitely had no excuse not to give us a Pokemon Ranger game during the Wii U era. We literally could not use the Wii U without that tablet, which came with a stylus by the way. But I can't get too mad, we did get ports, so it's something. Now I was just looking through this and I completely missed this even though I liked the comment, but Kenneth Clark says, Pokemon Stadium, Coliseum, XD Gale of Darkness, and surprisingly, Pokemon Battle Revolution. Basically speaking, Kenneth was saying that people are under the belief that because the mainline games are now 3D and much higher quality than they used to be, a lot of people don't believe that these games are necessary at all. And that they're unlikely to get ported or remade any way, shape, or form because they wouldn't want to spend time or money on a game that would look better than the mainline series. Why would they do that? I gotta say here, Kenneth, you're not necessarily wrong. A couple people in my previous video talking about Pokemon Battle Revolution were telling me that this game would be kind of unnecessary considering that all of the things that we would have in those games could absolutely be implemented in the mainline games in a way. And now that the core series is 3D on the big screen, there's really no need for more games like Coliseum or Gale of Darkness. Now, I don't know too much about Pokemon Stadium, so I can't speak too much on that, and you've already seen my opinion on Pokemon Battle Revolution and why I think that would work out pretty great this day and age. But to be completely honest with you, as far as Pokemon Coliseum and Gale of Darkness are concerned, Yeah, I gotta say, we don't really need games like that anymore. Now don't get it twisted, I would absolutely love to have a port of those games. I simply think that remakes or remasters would be completely unnecessary. And I couldn't imagine what they would do in a sequel that wouldn't just look like another mainline game for Pokemon. So as far as those two are concerned, I don't know about that. But Stadium and Battle Revolution are definitely games that could be taken example of. The Sheep Killer says, we need a sequel to Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness as well as Poke Park 3. We need remakes of all 4 original games, which includes Colosseum, XD Gale of Darkness, Poke Park Wii, and Poke Park 2 Wonders Beyond. Now, like I just said moments ago, I don't really think we need a sequel to Pokemon XD, because a game like that would literally do nothing more than piss a lot of us off. It'd be crazy if they went balls to the wall all out on a game like that with very creative characters, an insanely well-written story with amazing enemies that we would have to stop, proper utilization of some crazy gimmick, actual challenge. I feel like one of two things would happen. Either people would be like, why is this not in the main games? Or they would say, why is this not the main series? Let's not pay attention to the main series anymore. Let's go with this. And then get pissed off when we have the mainline series games and they have none of those things. And then to top that off, they probably wouldn't touch up on that game series ever again. I just feel like while it would definitely have a lot of potential, I feel like there are so many things that are good about it that would overshadow the mainline series that it would just cause more controversy. And I feel like at this point, Pokemon's at least gonna attempt to try and avoid that more, especially with the backlash that they got from the remake announcements. Poke Park, on the other hand, is a completely different story. First off, they actually really do not have any excuse not to port over the original 2 games. Those would work so well on Switch it's not even funny. And then a Poke Park 3 that's modified to work specifically on the Switch would be amazing. Recently there was a game series that I loved to death that got ported over from the Wii, which I did not expect. And they did it because we're getting a 3rd installment of that game series this upcoming year. So I look at that game series and then I look back at Poke Park and say, this needs to happen with this series. Poke Park needs the No More Heroes treatment. Poke Park was one of those perfect spin-offs that could appeal to literally anybody because it properly conveys all of Pokemon's main themes of love and friendship and things like that, while also simultaneously giving us a big world to explore for everyone to enjoy. Now that I look back at what I just said, those two things have literally nothing to do with each other. However, you get what I'm trying to get across. Actually, I think that Shy J gets this point across a lot better than I do because he says, I've said it before and I'll say it again, Poke Park was an underrated series. Having an open world game where you are the Pokemon and you go exploring and recruiting new Pokemon as well as fighting would make a Poke Park 3 amazing. In the actuality of it, Poke Park is one of the only series that I could think of that could properly be transferred over to the Switch with little to no problems. Of all the games that we could think of here that required motion control back on the Wii, I gotta say, Poke Parks were definitely one of the least demanding. Moving right along here, Rei Arisugawa says, I'd love for them to bring back Pokemon Conquest. It'd be prime time to bring the series back because it'd be closer in a tentative timeline to Pokemon Legends coming out next year. Now that is something that I actually did not consider. Now we're not exactly sure as to exactly where Pokemon Legends lies on the timeline, but it's definitely more likely a canon game. It wouldn't be all that out there to have a game like Pokemon Conquest have some kind of crazy connection to that of Pokemon Legends if they are in the similar timeline or era. Now considering that most Pokemon spin-offs don't usually take place in the same region, they usually have some made up region for that game specifically, means that it would be harder to make some kind of connection since whatever happened in whatever region Conquest took place in probably wouldn't really have much of an effect on Sinnoh as we know it. But I don't think that's to say that making some kind of connection would be impossible. Like I said, I haven't played Conquest yet, but if it did have some kind of connections to Legends, I know for a fact me and a bunch of other people would definitely be more inclined to play it. So you're not wrong, Ray, it's definitely something to consider. Next in line, Anubis Goddess says, like I said in the last comment, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Detective Pikachu, Colosseum and Gale of Darkness, and most definitely the Pokemon Ranger series. First off, I completely forgot that Detective Pikachu started off as a game, not a movie. And second, I didn't even realize how recent this game was for us. It got a Western port back in 2018. However though, I'm sure that you can see the problem here. We had the Switch in 2017. So for me personally, this game got completely forgotten about and swept under the rug because by that point, my 3DS was already collecting dust. That port took way too long. And I feel really bad because I don't even know how good or bad the game is. I haven't really heard too much, to be completely honest with you though, which usually is not that good of a sign. A couple of things are for sure though. One, I definitely enjoyed the movie a lot more than I thought I would. Usually video game adaptations are absolutely god awful, but that one was pretty good. And two, given the chance to play it on the current gen console, I would absolutely have considered picking it up. I know that Detective Pikachu is apparently supposed to play something like Phoenix Wright, I think? I'm not entirely sure, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I like mystery games. I'm totally down for something like that if it were available on the Switch. So if you believe that it deserves a chance to be revived in some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna go ahead and take your word for it, because I have no reason to argue with you. Next along here, Michael Gallo says, haven't seen this mentioned yet, could be the rose-colored glasses, but I adored the simplicity and the charm of Pokemon Pinball as a kid. For sure had its flaws, but a fresh coat of paint and improved physics could make for a fun enough mobile game. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of pinball related type situations. I didn't even like Sonic pinball games or anything like that. However though, I know a lot of people did like Pokemon Pinball back in the day, so hey, a mobile game couldn't hurt. I don't see why not. No promises that it's something that I would play, but it's definitely something that I'd consider if it were placed right in front of me. And finally, because I can't do much more without getting too repetitive, my boy Skills Hunter says, I didn't see anyone else mention the game's Pokemon channel or Hey You Pikachu. I think it would be cool to have a comeback or maybe have it as a feature in the main series mixed in with the camping style of mechanics. Okay, I legit, to be completely honest with you, have no opinion on those games. Mostly because I have no idea what I'm looking at. I looked up gameplay after I read your question and I have legit no idea what's going on. So it's supposed to be like a TV show and different channels where things just happen with different Pokemon? Is that what I'm reading? I don't really understand what Pokemon channel is, but from what I've seen, you are kind of right. I think it would definitely just fit right in with the mainline games if you were to just store that somewhere. Maybe the trainer could sit down and watch the Pokemon channel and watch little cute TV dramas between Pokemon, and then maybe you could get some kind of award or something like that, or maybe you could buy merchandise for shirts or something from the Pokemon channel in the mainline games. I have no idea. I don't know enough about those games to give a true opinion, but I think it could be possibly interesting. But anyhow, that just about covers it for all of the Pokemon spin-off games that you guys would like to see revived. All of this right here really just goes to show how Pokemon really could do so much more with their series than they realize, and exactly how bad they take it for granted. I'm just saying that right now, a lot of these games could be ported to Switch tomorrow and a majority of us would cry because we would be so happy. But they will pay attention to their big names first. At the very least, I have no fear for Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. That one's gonna go on for quite some time, in my personal opinion. I truly do believe so. However, there's a lot of other series that definitely should have been back by now that didn't ever even get that chance, and that's really sad. I'm not gonna sit here and say that they're never coming back though. I have literally no clue. Getting a remake of Red and Blue Rescue Team for the Switch was literally one of the most left field things I never expected. Of all the series that they've practically killed off at this point, I'm really glad that Mystery Dungeon wasn't one of those games just yet. But hey, Pokemon's a big franchise that's gonna be around long after my lifetime, so I can't sit here and say what they are gonna bring back and what's gonna stay dead. But we're gonna get a lot of Pokemon games down the line one way or another, and we're gonna try to have the best time with them as we possibly can. But yep, that just about does it for me. So on that note, I want to hear what you guys think. Were you guys okay with a lot of the Pokemon spin-off games that were mentioned in this video today? Do you hate all of them? Do you just hate Pokemon spin-offs for some crazy, insane reason? Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and skedaddle on out of here. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the absolute greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and I really hope to see you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!